Good afternoon, YouTube. How you guys doing today? So for the past couple of days, we've been hearing the current rumor going around about people are supposed to be praying on crystals, witches praying on crystals and wishing bad on people's unborn children. And you hear a lot of people saying, well, I don't fool with stuff like that. You know, that stuff is evil, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, a lot of that conversation actually stems from, I believe, the rumor stemmed from what was going on between Star Marie and Tasha K and that whole debacle a couple of months ago when Lovely T was saying that somebody had put some, she was smudging her house because she believed that somebody put some kind of spell on her and it made her sick, all this and all that. So people started talking about, burning sage and, and voodoo and all this and all that. Well, anyway, I made a video a couple of months ago concerning Rootwork because a lot of people were saying had a lot of misinformation and a lot of people didn't know anything about voodoo or Rootwork at all, only what they've heard in the news, only because people are Christians. Christians call it evil, and that is the only religion that a lot of our people, a lot of black people practice nowadays, because a lot of our traditional African spiritualities and rituals were lost when a lot of our people were brought over here via slavery in the slave trade, right? So anyway, I want to repost this video, but I want to add a little bit to it before I play this video again for you guys. And I wanted to do that because since a couple of days they've been talking about crystals and witches and stuff. People have been saying they stay away from witches and warlocks and all this and all that. What you don't understand is when you use the term witches and warlocks and pagans, those are European terminologies. And what the Europeans do, they not only stole us, our ancestors, from their homeland, they also stole our religions and started using those religious practices for evil. So when you hear the term paganism or witches and warlocks, just know that all of that stems from African spirituality turned evil. That's why I said I don't know nothing about praying on crystals. I do root work, okay? Because root work has been passed down to my family, passed down from generation to generation. I'm sorry, in my family, because we were lucky enough to keep our ancestral a lot of our ancestral knowledge. It was passed down from generation to generation in my family. But I also wanted to add a little bit to this video because I was talking about root work. One of the things I want to mention to you guys real fast, that voodoo comes from the ancient kingdom in Africa, ancient kingdom in West Africa in particular. That ancient kingdom was called the Kingdom of Dahomey. That is current day Benin and Togo in West Africa. Voodoo was the only form of religion practiced for centuries in Benin and Togo. And voodoo is widely practiced even to this day, particularly in Benin and Togo. There is also a neighboring region. The name of that neighboring region was Niger. That is current day Nigeria. My family is descended from Nigeria. And Ifa theology was the only religion practiced for centuries in Nigeria. And many Nigerians to this day still practice Yoruba Ifa theology. I myself am a Ifa devotee because of my ancestral lineages. And I mentioned these two regions of West Africa in particular because voodoo and Yoruba Ifa theology, like I said, were the only religions practiced for centuries. These religions are still practiced today. There are nothing to be afraid of, but because we lack knowledge of who we really are, a lot of people demonize these religious practices. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, many of our ancestors, like I said, that were enslaved, many of them were able to hold on to these certain practices, like my family, like my familiar ancestors were, okay? And so also, when it comes to talking about witches and warlocks in particular, that is a form of theology. Paganism, I'm sorry, is a form of religious practice. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a bastardized version of African theology. Okay, so as it pertains to the witches and warlocks, in E5 theology, there are priests. There are priests, male priests, and there are female priests. And the name of the male priest they call him Baba or Baba Laos, and they call the female priestess, they call her the Iyanifas. Which you know, the female, for as far as the Anglos go, the female is called the witch and the male is called warlock. In the religious practice is paganism. Okay, so that's why I mentioned that. And also, as far as E5 theology goes, the manifestations of God and nature are the Orishas. And from the worship of the Orishas, and also via the religious practice of Ifa theology, stems Rootwork, stems what we call Rootwork today. And like I said, that was passed down, from generation to generation in my family, because we were lucky enough to know where our ancestors stem from, which was the West African region of Nigeria, which is why I made this video concerning root work, because we practice it in my family right today. So anyway, let me play this video for you guys. And just remember, when you hear people talking about voodoo and stuff like root work, it's not traditionally evil. Some people do evil things. They cast evil spells, like the spell that they said that was going around about wishing bad on somebody's unborn child. That is absolutely unnecessary. And just remember, if you are a person that's fooling with this European bastardized version of African spirituality, bad things can happen to you when you wish bad things upon other people. We all know, that whatever you put out in the universe and in nature is what you get back. So when you're doing these religious practices, do you see what I'm saying? If you put out bad, you get bad back. If you put out good, you get good back. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't do anything that's bad. I don't put out any type of root work or anything else that's bad into universe simply because I don't want to get that back. Okay? So with saying that, let me play this little video for you guys, and I hope that you will get a better understanding of root work in particular. Okay? Hold on. Last week, I promised a subscriber of mine, Miss Lady C, that I would do a video concerning burning sage. So today I got time. So and so that's what I want to do. A lot of people have a misunderstanding as to what it means to burn sage. And actually, the ritual of burning sage is called smudging, okay? And the use of sage is for healing. The smoke is used to bless, cleanse, and heal the person and or the home, okay, that's being smudged. The smoke is, like I said, it's called smudging. Sage is used to, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, wash off the outside world, primarily before entering your sacred place. And our homes, or many of us, our homes is our sacred place. Also, smudging is used to wash off, like I said, the outside world before doing altar work, or some kind of altar worship, or things of that nature. You will want to be smudged before you start to do that type of work, because you want to wash off all of the negative or bad energies that you've gotten during your day-to-day world. Okay, and a lot of people don't tell you, because a lot of people talk about burning sage. It's just a proper term, and it just something popular to say, and they really don't even know what they're talking about. And so, like I said, burning sage is primarily used, once again, for healing. And also, a lot of people don't tell you that after you burn sage, you want to burn sweet grass, and some people call sweet grass vanilla grass. You want to burn sweet grass, vanilla grass, because when you burn sweet grass, grass and vanilla grass. The smoke from the sweet grass sustains the smudging process. It extends the smudging process. Okay, and you want to burn sweetgrass also because it brings in the blessing from our Mother Earth. It brings in the blessings and the love from Mother Earth. That is why you burn sweetgrass to sustain smudging. Okay, these are different forms of sweetgrass. You never want to get sweetgrass mixed up with wheatgrass if you are performing some kind of ritual as smudging and you want to extend the life of the smudging. You want to do that. And actually, what Lovely Tea should have been burning. I'm sorry, if she wanted to protect herself and her home, what she should have been burning is cedar. All right, cedar. When you burn cedar, when you smudge with cedar, you smudge with cedar for protection. Cedar is a if you will is a strong medicine of protection. Cedar trees are very old. They are very wise, and they are very powerful. They contain powerful spirits, spirits that come from Mother Earth. Okay, cedar is often used, as a matter of fact, to cleanse the home. Cedar is used to cleanse the home, not sage, when moving in, especially when you're moving in your home, or you've had some bad energy in your home. It is used to cleanse your home. Cedar is burned or smudged. You want to smudge cedar when you want to invite or ask unwanted spirits to leave your space. That is why you burn cedar. Like I said, sage, just to review, is used for healing, and cedar is burned for protection. You want to burn cedar, like I said, to invite away. You never want to command some kind of bad spirit to leave your home or you. You want to invite them away, okay? And you also want to burn cedar or smudge yourself as well as your home as a means of protection for you, your family, and your home. That is why you smudge with cedar to protect. Okay? And also, while I'm on the subject, I wanted to talk about rituals that are used even today, not only in the Bible at one point in time, but a lot of religious rituals or use certain elements of root work even today. Okay, like I know you've all heard of, if you are a Christian, you've all heard the term frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense and myrrh are actually trees. Do you see what I'm saying? And in ancient times, as a matter of fact, this is a picture of a myrrh tree. Okay, and actually in ancient times, frankincense was considered to be frankincense and myrrh. I'm sorry, was considered to be more valuable than gold. Okay, and the resin from the frankincense tree was actually used in ancient times to embalm the bodies of Egyptian pharaohs. Okay, they used that because frankincense is used to cleanse and protect the soul. Okay, and like I said, it's still used today in certain religious realms such as Muslims, Jewish, and also Catholic rituals. Okay, and myrrh resin from the myrrh tree is used to help one to maintain your state of enlightenment. Like I said, this is a myrrh tree, by the way. This is a frankincense tree. Like I said, frankincense and myrrh is still used today. Okay, we've heard it, the term in the Bible. That's why I want to mention it to you guys for Christians, because we know that. Well, many of you might not know, but a lot of us know that the Bible is also a book of spells. Okay, it is also a book of root work. A lot of people don't know how to decode the Bible, and for that reason, a lot of the spells and rituals that are in the Bible are looked over or looked past, not mentioned by pastors, or even glossed over. Do you see what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, myrrh resin I told you it was to maintain your height of enlightenment, but it also myrrh resin. Also, when you burn it, it also connects you up with the spirits. Okay, and it also frankincense and myrrh also cleanses of the body when you burn it of anything that is blocking your path, your true path of enlightenment and truth. And also, before I go, I wanted to mention a lot of people mention burning lavender. Lavender is even used today in some Christians, in some Christian nations. Not so much over here in America, but a lot of people use they burn lavender in a ritualistic manner because lavender is used to safeguard against evil, and lavender also welcomes in good spirits. And like I said, it is used even today in some Christian believing countries. And also, on a side note, when you are performing a ritual, any type of ritualistic ceremony involving any of these herbs and plants and trees, you always want to perform that ritual or burn or smudge anything. You always want to use a charcoal tablet or a charcoal bowl. Okay. And the reason why you want to use a charcoal tablet or a charcoal bowl, I actually had a bowl made of it is a wood bowl, but it has a charcoal overlay, because if you smudge or burn anything using a wood bowl alone, we know that wood bowl is going to burn. But if you overlay it with charcoal, you know what I mean, it won't burn. And you want to use charcoal and wood, because they are elements of nature. Okay, even when you're burning your sage or your cedar or your frankincense and myrrh or your lavender, you always want to light those ritualistic herbs using a match. And you want to use a match and not a lighter, which is something else they don't tell you on the internet. You want to use a match because a match is made up of wood and charcoal. We know that the match stem is made of wood and the flint is the charcoal. And those are things from Mother Earth. Like I said, we always want to include Mother Earth so that we can have her healing properties. We want to have her ritualistic powers, because we, especially as melanated people, we have a transpersonal relationship with not only the universe, but also with Mother Earth. And we always want to receive her blessing. We always want to worship her and pay respect to her. We also always want to include the four elements, whether you're doing ritualistic altar work, whether you're burning sage, whether you're burning cedar. We also want to give thanks to our four elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. That is a way of us showing respect for Mother Earth protecting us and watching over us. Okay, and I hope this little video helped you guys, concerning ritualistic work using any kind of herb, or a sacred blessing or smudging or anything like that. I hope that helps you guys, and I hope this answers Miss Lady C's questions about smudging, i.e., burning sage. Okay, and I hope that you guys will click the notifications bell if you haven't, if you're listening to this video, because after this video, I'm going to be reposting a video that I did concerning the differences between rootwork, hoodoo, and voodoo, because there are some very distinct differences, and I want to repost that video because there is some kind of romanticized notion about hoodoo, and it is a very dangerous practice if you don't know what you're doing. That's why you can't take things like this lightly just because you listen to somebody on the internet. A lot of people talk about burning candles, black candles, and things of this nature. You are actually not even doing candle magic if your candles are not infused with herbs, such as a couple of these herbs that I mentioned today. And a lot of people don't tell you that on the internet. In order for that candle magic to work, you have to include not only herbs, you have to include Mother Nature as well. Earth, wind, fire, and water. Anyway, guys, be looking out for the reposting of that video. I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think about this video in the. Okay, so that was the video that I posted a couple of months ago when the conversation came up about Lovely T saying that somebody was casting bad spells on her and making her sick. I hope that you got some good information from this video. If you're still listening, let's get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this information that I reposted today down in the comment section. I really want to repost this just to let some of you guys know that when people say certain things and use certain terminologies, they really don't even know what they're talking about. And a lot of it is just hearsay, gossip, and lies in order to defame somebody's character or try to scare somebody or make them look bad, because we know as black people, some of us are very, very scary when it comes to certain things that are not very scary at all. But lack of knowledge is the reason why a lot of us are afraid of a lot of things that people mention for no reason at all. Anyway, that's all I got. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this, like I said, in the comment section below. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye. Peace.